girls junior quad. You can see on your shot here, the girls are away in the girls junior quad A final. Over in lane 0 will be North Palm Beach. Lane 1, Oars B entry. Lane 2, Lake County's B entry. Lane 3, Vero Beach. Lane 4, Sarasota Crew. Lane 5, Lake County. Lane 6, Oars A entry. Lane 7, Space Coast. Lane 8, St. Thomas Aquinas. And keep your eyes out for the Oars A entry. Over there in lane 6, they had the fastest result yesterday by about 10 seconds, but yesterday was yesterday and today is today.
Yeah, it looks like the Space Coast crew is really flying.
And we're through the first 500 meters. It does look like Space Coast Oars are all battling it out here early on for the early lead. I would give it to, boy, it's going to be close there between Space Coast and Oars. And look at that overhead shot. Fantastic from the drone here. Sarasota Crew, Oars, and Space Coast locked in a battle, all with overlap, no more than one seat. Currently, it does look, I'm going to give the advantage to Oars A entry there in lane 6. Appear to have a small advantage. They're working their way back through Space Coast. Space Coast is not letting anybody go away, and neither is Sarasota Crew.
Well, we got ourselves about, oh wow, looks like a big move was taken that Matt picked up on Oars. Oars and Space Coast have really put the pedal to the metal and may have taken power 10 together, dropping Sarasota Crew almost a length. We'll see whether or not they notice that and will take their own power 10. But right now it's Oars starting to push away their advantage, almost a quarter of a length. Their bow person is even with the 3-person.
Yeah, and they're really going after it. You can see they're keeping the rating high. They're keeping their foot on the gas. But all 3 of these crews right now, it looks like Space Coast and Oars are locked in this battle. Both of them are aware of what's on the line, a gold medal and a trophy here in this girls junior quad A final.
And the top of our screen, you can see Sarasota Crew, and they're just kind of cruising along. You have to be careful. They may get out of sight and out of mind and be able to sneak up. But right now, pressing their advantage are really rowing perfectly together. And really a fairly high rating is Oars.
As they're into the final 500 meters, Oars with a definitive move as they enter the final third of this race. They have taken half a length over Space Coast, but here comes Sarasota Crew in bronze medal position. They are taking a move to try and charge against Space Coast. So Space Coast under threat here for silver medal. They're going to have to continue to work their momentum and carry the speed and momentum driven by those Oars girls if they're going to want any chance. And here comes Space Coast again. They just took a kick, and they're starting to move again on Oars.
So Oars is at a higher rate of striking. They currently have the lead. Space Coast looks like they may have room to go up, and we're going to have to see, does Oars have another gear? Can Oars go for a dive for the line? They're into the red buoys, 250 meters to go, less than 1 minute of racing. They can hold on as hard as they can, but somebody's going to have to try and put their head down, put their bow ball across the line first.
What a move by Space Coast. It looks like they may have the momentum as they come down into the final 200 meters of this race. Sarasota Crew starting to get dropped again for bronze medal, but it is so tight up front, just a seat
Here
separating.
we go. It's Space Coast right now. It's the fastest crew on the water. They have barely moved ahead of Oars. They are striding. They're really pushing with their legs. It's Space Coast and Oars. Space Coast and Oars. Space Coast and Oars. Battling to a finish. Space Coast is jacking it up. There they go. They have moved on. And look at this great drone shot right there. And Space Coast, with that speed, has moved into the first place.
Fantastic move for Space Coast, and it's going to win them the girls junior quad state title here for Space Coast as they let it fly and take the gold medal and state championship title for Space Coast. Oars is going to have to settle for silver with Sarasota Crew in the bronze medal position. Fantastic sprint for Space Coast to overtake Oars in the final 250 meters.
Really well-timed sprint there. Space Coast able to take over from Oars with Vero Beach now coming across.
I'm willing to bet, Matt, that Space Coast had practiced that sprint a few times. What did you say?
It looks like they knew what they had left in the tank, and they knew exactly when to unleash it. They left it right until the last moment, and boy, they timed that right.
Yeah. Unleash the fury.
Yeah, well, they took off like a rocket. Very appropriate for Space Coast there. And again, watching this replay, seeing that definitive move, Bausi takes a quick look out. She knows where they are. She knows what they've got to do. Punching it through the line, just holding on, taking that one deck victory here.
The other thing, which is really great, watch this. See how far apart the hands are on the rowers in Space Coast. As Harry Parker, Harry Parker used to say at Harvard, if you don't maintain the length when you bring up your rating, you're not going to win.
And there we have confirmation of Space Coast's victory in the girls' junior quad with oars, with the silver medal, and Sarasota crew rounding out with the bronze medal. Congratulations to all those athletes on your hard-earned hardware.